You're listening to Childcare Sights and Sounds, presented by Dani Christine Inc., a podcast made for childcare providers by childcare providers. All right, surprise!
Hey y'all!
We are back.
Nice timing, George.
It's been a long time.
Oh gosh,
guys. How does the song go?
That's sad. I forgot. What? Oh, it's been a long time.
Shouldn't have left
you. Without a dope beat to steps to, something like that. As you can see, we're still corny, guys.
It has literally been since March.
I was gonna say it feels more than a year.
It has not been a year. It's March. You're right before your birthday, because that's when I made like the best high quality podcast that we had ever made.
Wait, we didn't do one. Was March when I was at your place? When I feel like, isn't that the last time we did it? When we had the suspense of what my
that was March, because then we went to Florida a couple weeks after that. Please ignore this animal. He's literally
look. As soon as you said ignore this animal, he looked at us. He said, "Mommy, don't talk about me like that." I feel like he's purposely. Hi, Georgie.
Please. Whatever.
Welcome to my world. When I was told, they'd be like, "Oh, let her do whatever." No.
Yeah. So in March, we were talking about, in the last episode, we were talking about how we were planning to go to Florida and take a road trip, and we bet that it was not going to happen, and it did.
It did happen. It did happen, and we did podcast, but it just never made it. It was a lot. It was more of a venting session, guys. But you guys gotta talk to Dani if y'all want that.
No, that podcast can stay in Florida. But since then, we have gone through going to Florida. We've gone through your birthday. We've gone through graduation season,
summer camp,
the fifth anniversary.
The gala anniversary
gala. We've gone through the whole summer program.
Now we're back to the school year.
Now we are back in action for the 2022-2023 school year.
Yeah, the school is actually not bad.
For those audio only listeners, I just rolled my eyes because every other day, Gigi is, first of all, we didn't introduce ourselves.
We don't do the clapping anymore.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm Dani.
I'm Gigi.
And this is Childcare Sights and Sounds podcast. I don't remember our whole intro. Actually, I think I have like a music clip in the beginning. So you probably already heard that.
Find us and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so you have found us here on childcaresites.com/podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Dani Christine Consulting, or at, your Instagram handle has changed. Do you know what it is now? It's and I'll tell you. I'll look it up.
I'm so bad when it comes to social media, guys. I'm so sorry. And Dani, you're probably gonna have to fix my social media again. And I'm so horrible. I used to post, guys. I promise you I'll get back on it.
Oh, we don't apologize for not posting around here. Apologies for not posting.
That means you apologize.
They don't mean anything, clearly, because George, I haven't posted on this podcast. I barely post on my own page. Your Instagram handle is gg.solutions.
Yes. That guys.
.solutions. You can find the link to everything that we might reference or care to share links for in the show notes of this podcast episode or the description of the YouTube video replay. If you are listening audio only, the videos are back. I know last year I did say that the videos were stopping, and they did for some time, and now they're back by popular demand and Gigi's request.
No, no. Gigi being requested. Gigi vote don't count. Thank you guys who voted. I appreciate the videos.
But yeah, so I
Where did we
rolled
begin?
my eyes because you saying this year is not that
Oh
bad.
yeah.
One, I agree, but two, every other day you're having some traumatic experience that you're upset about. So I
Yeah.
can't take you're like hot and cold every day.
She can't take me serious. That's my sign Pisces. High, low. But no, yeah. No, Danny's correct. Every other day I'm like, I want to replace my entire staff. Every other day I want to tell I want this parent's driving me nuts. But then as soon as the day is over, the next day begins, it's like a brand new start, like it never happened. And it's literally funny. I walk in my office, I leave my office like I'm done, can't wait to go. And I come in the next day, like, good morning, guys. How's it going? And hey kids.
Do
Like
you
I
feel
wasn't just complaining.
do you feel like you're on a high because you just came back from vacation, so you're rejuvenated?
No, not at all. I think I'm on high because one, my assistant is back. My assistant is back, and we're slowly, finally getting into having good amount of staff. We still need like one a few, but it's the rhythm of things are getting falling into place. Or the pieces to my puzzle are finally falling into place. And I know it sounds crazy. I complain every year. I know this. I know by like October, November, everything will fall into place, especially with the new center or just in general the school year. But as we all go through the motions, we all know we have to complain, we have to vent, and then we laugh about it and think about it later on like that wasn't as bad as I made it.
Yeah, it's all
It-
relative.
yeah. And then laugh. And then do it all over again. Like, like I didn't experience it.
Mhm. Well, what's been going on with you?
Oh, the third center. Honestly, just pause. Guys, Gigi kind of, if I'm being extremely transparent, Gigi lost herself and we're on track to get that back. Unfortunately, I stopped school. Danny doesn't know this. I don't even know if I even told Danny this. I
I think
stopped.
you did.
You did? Oh, I stopped
Well,
school.
you didn't actually, I don't think you told me you stopped. I think you told me that you stopped doing your work.
Yes. I'm the type of person, if I can give 100%, I'm not gonna half-ass it, and I'm not gonna just do something and accept a grade. I want an A. If I know I'm not gonna get an A, unfortunately, it's not gonna happen. But I don't know. I don't know if it's between like my personal life and the start of the new school year, and I'm horrible at balancing my personal life and my work life. So I know it's a combination of a lot of things and I do know what to do, but unfortunately, sometimes when you're in the moment, it gets the best of you, and sometimes you fold your cards. But I'm gonna reshuffle my deck and ready to be dealt a brand new set of cards.
Right. So you didn't stop school, you're taking a temporary break.
Yes, a temporary break. Temporary break. Yeah, and after that, yeah, that's it. It's you already know it's there.
How
Huh?
many semesters do you have left?
I have 2 semesters left. So I'm almost there. But the thing is like I don't want to just stop with that. I want to do that. Then my doctor's like I just want to keep it going until that's it.
Yeah. And when can
I
you
love school. Like I don't know if you can tell. Like like sometimes when I'm in school and I tell Daniel, "Oh my goodness, I learned this. We gotta try this. We gotta do that." I love school, but I don't know. You know,
when can you re-enroll?
honestly, at any given time because it's online, classes start at a different time depending on what the demand is and how many kids like enroll for that semester. So I could literally start school next month if I choose to, but I'm gonna let the holiday and the rest of the year pass and start the new year fresh.
this, you mean the calendar year? Like you're gonna
Yes.
start in January?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
What about you?
I'm on a fitness journey.
Yeah, can y'all believe that? I am so proud of you. I'm so proud. And how long? 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
It's been like I started the day after my 29th birthday, which was September 18th. So September 19th, I started. I think it's been 3 weeks and like a day, technically.
Guys,
three
I
weeks
am
and a
so
day.
proud of Dani. Usually after day one, she's like, yeah, no, this is not for me. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah, like something, I think I told you, like something just clicked in my mind when on my birthday.
Totally.
Yeah, that I was just like, I can't keep treat. I was telling Lauren, my cousin, uh, I can't keep treating myself like this anymore. Like I really, for the past however many years, pretty much since I've been a business owner, have not been prioritizing myself at all. Like I could care less about myself as a human being.
Which
Um,
I'm sure was on purpose, as all business owners know, that's just how the life comes with being a business owner. Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah, it's not always, and it shouldn't be that way, but there's definitely, like, over the years, it has been a challenge to, consider my own personal, physical, and mental health and emotional well-being, like, have not cared at all. So, at my birthday that I forced you guys not to come down here and I spent it by myself because I just really wanted to think about my life and what it was going to look like for the next 29 years. Like me thinking that like I'm going to turn 30 um next year. I like, I like my life. I like where I am for the most part in business as much as it is stressful, but like personally I feel like I haven't been fulfilled because I haven't been trying
Of
to
course.
fill that cup. So I got myself an Apple Watch. You have an Apple Watch too, right?
I do, and I think it's so funny. I wanna say 2 years ago, I was gonna get you an Apple Watch. Do you know what you told me? That it's just gonna sit there.
That is correct. 2 years ago, it would have been just collecting dust with the rest of my electronics that I'd never opened. Or I probably would have given it away to somebody else. But now
That
I'm
has
obsessed
to.
with it. Look, my
Yeah,
wrists are
what do
almost
you do?
closed.
What do you do with, like, what do you have your notifications on?
So I didn't turn any specific set like notifications on other than what it comes with. I honestly don't know how to work all the things. I just find motivation in the activity rings. You know what I'm talking
Okay.
about? Like these?
Yeah, I know. Mhm, it'll tell you, like, how
Right.
many, like, miles you
The
walk, like, basically
calories.
like,
Yeah.
active, yeah.
So the pink ring is the calories that you burn. The green ring is the active calories that you burn. The green ring is the amount of minutes that you spend working out. And what I find hilarious and the hardest ring to close for me is the blue one, which is how many times you stand up every day.
Yeah, you work from home.
It literally will go off like it's time to stand up and move for 1 minute. Like, come on.
Which is good though, because, some people say that's how you don't burn calories. You're sitting all day and you eat, you drink, and that weight is just sitting there.
Right,
So,
right.
but it's
So
easier for you to get up, take George for a quick walk.
yeah, I mean, literally, all it needs you to do is stand up for 1 minute, and then it will give a notch in the ring. So that's what I do. I go to use the bathroom, or I go get something out the fridge. But aside from
Moving. That's what
that,
matters.
I've been working out pretty much every day. Out of these 3 weeks and one day, I've only skipped 2 days of working out. But every other day, I've been waking up early and going to a gym or a trainer or to F45. So my goal
Wait,
is
hold on. Tell people how F45 is going.
None of it is going well.
I was gonna say just choose one.
None of it is going well. I don't mind. Oh, that's not true. I like going to my gym here in my building by myself because I get to do what I want without the pressure of anybody else. So, like, what I've been doing is either walking or jogging at least 2 miles. This week, my trainer has told me to make it 3. So now I'll be doing
Okay.
at least 3 miles every time I go to my gym. So that's fine and fun because I just listen to my podcast, take however long it takes, and I'll go the miles. But when it comes to working out with my trainer in her studio or going to F45, I sometimes I actually cry. I can't do. I was telling her today. I literally was like, Caitlin, I can't do this.
What did she say? Yes, you can.
Yeah, she's just like, it'll get better. You'll get stronger. It'll be easier next time.
Are there other people around when you're crying? You just like it's whatever.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not crying and stopping. I'm crying and doing it. So I don't care. It looks like
But how
sweat.
do you feel
It's
once
fine.
you're done? How do you feel when don't you feel great when you're done?
When I leave my trainer's studio, I feel relieved. I'm like, I'm so glad this is over. That's what I say as I'm walking out. I'm just like, I'm glad this is done. Like, I can go home. I'm so thankful to go home.
Oh my gosh.
Literally, thank you, God. I can go home.
Trying so hard not to horrible.
Um,
But you'll the like you said, you'll get used to it. And once you see the results, you're gonna want to keep going back.
yeah, well, no. I think that I will consistently hate it. But the results is what matters. I want to feel better, and I do. I have a goal of very specifically losing 30 pounds in 30 weeks. And I'm trying to keep myself on track with hold on, this is not mirrored.
Your
This
whiteboard?
is my whiteboard. You see the dashes?
What yeah.
So the dashes are like it's 30 dashes here. And basically what I'm doing is writing. So this is October. I started this goal on October 3rd, even though I was working out for 2 weeks before that. I didn't know what I wanted my goal to be, so I didn't have one. So on October 3rd, that's what it says in the corner. And then over here at the end, it says April 30th, 2023, which I'll get into in a second. But
Okay.
the dashes are represent Sundays in between that time of October 3rd to April 30th. And underneath the dashes, I'm writing my weight. So the first week I wrote my weight, and then this week I'm down 1 pound this past Sunday. So I did it. If I lose 1 pound a week, I'll meet my goal. And I think that that's realistic.
Yay! Congratulations.
Shut up, George.
George is saying
Oh,
congrats.
sorry. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah, so hopefully I can get it done, and I want
you
April
are getting it
30th.
done.
You're right. And April 30th is the, day before the last day of my lease here.
Where
So
where you moving to this time around? You brought it up, not me.
I wanna come back to New York. I am gonna come back to New York, uh,
I like that second phrase better.
as soon as possible, but not later than May 1st or after April 30th. So new habits, new lifestyle, new body, new location this spring. Coming soon, spring 2023.
I was gonna say spring 2023. Yes, girl. Yes.
Yeah,
Happy. Very
me
happy.
too. I can't wait to be around you guys as
You,
often as possible.
I'm so happy I have that. Is it recording? Okay. Yes.
Um,
Can't wait.
before we get off the topic of Apple Watches, can I share mine with you? Do you know how to do that?
What do you mean share location?
Like
Mine
Apple Watch it, no, not location. Lauren actually showed me this, that you can share your um like activity rings. Do you wear your Apple Watch every day?
not every day. Mine's actually
Oh, then
charged
never
right
mind.
now 'cause
It's
it's
not
dead.
gonna be fun.
We could try it another time. I wasn't prepared for it, but it used to like when I
Like, if
wear it
you
to work.
don't usually wear it, then it will be pointless because basically what it is, it's kind of like a social media for your Apple Watch. Like, you can see people that you share, like it's basically like following their Apple Watch, so you can see their ring.
Activities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
how many
wouldn't mind
calories, how
because
many
mine would just start recording. Do yours sometimes just start recording like think that it's you're working out if you're walking for a long period of time and it will actually
yeah,
would just like to record this workout.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind share. I would share that with you and stuff.
It's motivating. Like sometimes I'll go and I'll see, oh, like, oh, Lauren worked out for 30 minutes today, and I've just been laying here. Or
I
it'll
agree.
Yeah, or
Or
it'll
it's like
show.
it's like a group fitness. You ever been
Yeah,
to you ever been to the chart where like everybody's like, okay, the goal is to lose this amount of pounds. Maybe the goal could be we
mhm.
share each other and keep motivating each other to
Yeah, you
complete their
can do, like, competitions with your friends that you're sharing with. There's, like, a compete button. Anytime, like, somebody accomplishes a new goal, like, my dad I share with my dad.
Mhm.
So yesterday, I think it was yesterday was the first time I walked 3 miles, and I had, like, a little emblem pop up that was like, "Congratulations, your first goal," and my dad got it too. So, like, he congratulated me.
Aw,
But yeah, we should share it.
I
Um,
agree.
and we can
Keep
go
each
on.
other accountable for our
Yes,
goals.
yes, yes, yes. But anyway, this is childcare sights and sounds.
We're
I
just
guess
catching up on life things. Don't you know?
true, true. I think I was thinking about before we came on here, like what I was thinking we should be doing with the podcast, because I think that's part of the reason why it's been so inconsistent is like, what are we talking about? What are we doing? In my mind, I have so many different platforms to post on, whether it's Instagram or my actual website. I used to do weekly webinars on Wednesdays, and I would have guests come in to present during those webinars on informational topics. But if you remember when we started this podcast, it was originally like we were having guests
We were
come on and talk about
their
like their
platform
businesses
relating
or
to
their,
child.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it can't be the same thing. And then like it can't completely just be about our personal lives because this is about childcare.
You can mix of both. It's personal,
Yeah.
yeah, how they both.
I was thinking something we can definitely do as like a initial jump off point is maybe talk about, like, you know how sometimes we'll send each other, well, you do it more than me because it it makes me nervous when I see certain stories in the news. But you'll send me like stuff on
I definitely
Instagram.
do. I know that's what you're gonna say, daycare stuff that people
Yes.
got business doing, and in my head, I'm like, "My goodness, this happened at my center. What would I do?" Like, I think the most recent one I sent you was the one where the daycare worker put the mask, Halloween mask on, was scaring the
Oh,
kid.
oh my goodness. I was just getting ready to talk about that. I was going to
It
send it to
but
you.
I don't know if
Did
that's
you send that to me?
oh, I did.
Okay, okay, okay. So before we talk on it, I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna screen record and make sure that it's up on the live, on the video replay. So if you haven't seen this video, I mean, if you haven't seen the TikTok that we're about to reference or the Instagram post that we're about to reference, watch the video replay, or you could just listen to the audio. I'll play it out loud and then we can talk about it. So, just what I was getting ready to say in general was like on a week by week basis, as we do this podcast, maybe we could just talk about like, or have topics surrounding trending things going on in the childcare world, like things that come up.
I
Um,
agree because I'm sure people out there are probably like, I wonder what this daycare person thinks of what just happened. Because for us, I feel like it's a little bit of both worlds. Like we on the other end, but then I'm a mom, so I'm also on that end too. There's things like I
Yeah.
send you business wise, and we're like, dang, why they had to act like that? They should have had it in their policy. And then I'll
Let me play it first.
okay, yeah.
And then you could go into it. Hold on.
Editing Danny jumping in here to say that I did try multiple times as I'm creating this podcast episode. I tried my best to insert the clip of the video that we're going to be referencing. Basically, it's a daycare teacher putting on the scream mask and literally screaming at the top of her lungs to children in her class. The video sound isn't playing. I don't know what's wrong, but to be honest, I felt a little uneasy about uploading the video anyway. So I'm going to stop trying. I just feel like we don't have permission slips from these parents' kids to be posting them. I don't really care to reshare even more than it has already been shared, this video.
That was a clip that was posted and spread all over social media within the past week. It's showing a daycare program. Oh, the whole name is in here. In the video you sent me from Hollywood Unlocked, like all the details are there. I didn't see that before.
Yeah. Did you post? Is that the one you posted? You could edit and blur out the
Yeah,
bacon.
I'm not gonna. I mean, it's public information, but and that's the other thing too. Like some things I don't really care to speak on because in certain situations it's like not for this. Like this was completely inappropriate. But sometimes I think things can be blown out of proportion by the public without background information on what was going on in the program first, if that makes sense.
I
Sometimes
agree
it
because
doesn't
parents
matter. Like in this case,
have
it doesn't matter.
yeah.
This was
In other
completely.
cases, it was another one where, like, as soon as the camera comes on, you don't know if the parent's not putting on that respectful attitude because the camera's
Right.
on. What was happening before?
Yeah. So anyway, what are your thoughts on this video?
Um, I do want to say I don't think their intentions were to harm or traumatize the kids. I just don't see that. You're in daycare, like just common sense. I do want to say once she stepped in and saw the reaction of the kids, she should have just immediately taken it off. She kept going around, and one kid was literally like shaking and screaming like, those kids are traumatized, at least for the next couple of years. But do I also think the media is blowing out of proportion? Yeah, because there's parents who literally do that to their kids. You've seen on TikToks and their own taking them to Party City and purposely putting on a mask while they're in the shopping cart and turn around and they do the same thing. But it's different because mom and dad are doing it. Um, so I don't think it's okay to do it in a daycare setting. That's not what I take my child there for.
Mhm.
But do I think it was intentional and to cause any harm? No.
I don't think they meant to cause harm, but I do think it was definitely intentional to scare the crap out of these kids. It was definitely inappropriate. Um, and let me tell you something. I remember traumatic, scary moments as a child myself. Not, I don't can't. Actually, yes, I have a cousin. I have a big cousin that used to be into dolls and dummies.
Oh, what is it called? Oh, goodness. When you put the hand, you make a move.
Yes,
The
a
puppet.
dummy. It's called a dummy.
No,
Like,
is
yes, like a
ventriloquist.
ventriloquist dummy.
Yes.
Maybe he
Okay.
wasn't into dummies. Like maybe that's I don't know. I don't know. But I know he had a dummy in his
Okay.
room. And I remember visiting my aunt's house, and like he used to, of course, I'm his little cousin. He used to scare the crap out of me with this dummy. And when I was probably their age, and to this day, dummies
You
creep me out. If I think about those moments for too long, I'll get scared.
so you can't watch a scary movie and what is it,
I
Annabelle?
couldn't watch. I remember
Annabelle.
another scenario where like I was hanging out with my cousins and they wanted to watch Chucky.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you
No.
watched it,
Even now, I can't watch Chucky. Like, it
but
is
did you watch it?
I
You
did.
watched it?
I did
Oh
watch
yeah,
it.
no, I don't know if my kid watched anything. Even one year, I think somebody had like, I know it's gonna sound so horrible, had an Obama mask, and it took about a good 6. Yeah, I don't know, but it took about 6 months for her to forget the Obama
Emily?
mask. Yeah,
So
it
she
was
was scared of the this was where?
this was at my cousin's house, and I think they bought it was for something that they bought at President's Day or whatever for some project, and he put the mask on and scared the crap out of her, and she will literally say, "Mommy, no Obama mask, no Obama mask." I know it's funny now, but she would literally wake up crying saying Obama's coming to this is horrible that I'm putting this on this podcast. I'm not gonna.
But you see, you have to, and I'm sure
There
those
was one
adults,
night she wouldn't sleep at all. I had to give her a bath at 2 o'clock in the morning just to relax her. Mind you, I gave her a bath before, but she was just up, like just wouldn't close her eyes. Every time she would go up, she would jump. It took giving her another bath and to relax her and hold her for her to go to sleep. I don't think it was Obama himself. It was the way that
don't say it too loud before she hears you and
it
re-traumatize.
was just the way that the mask moved. You know, the mask has,
Yeah,
the
of course it wasn't Obama himself, but wearing someone else's face on your face is not a normal thing to
she
see.
doesn't like that. She doesn't like clowns. Um, any little things, mommy, hurry up before Pennywise can come in the house. Like any little things,
Why
everything
does
is
she know
fine.
about Pennywise?
Her cousins, she's the youngest, and which is horrible. Like you said, you're
Yeah,
the youngest. Same thing used to happen to me. I wasn't the youngest, but I was I think the third or fourth oldest girl, and we're only a year apart. And my cousin, I could literally see him walk past me, and I go to the next room. He's around the corner waiting to scare me and jump. That's why I'm extremely jumpy to this day. Anything you and I both, you too. We're both
yeah.
jumping. Literally both will scream at the drop of a dime. We'll be at the center alone and we'll hear something, we'll look at each other and we're like, I know you're not going. I know I'm not going. So either we pack our stuff and leave, and that's that. And we're both jumpy. But yeah, it's traumatizing. And I've heard being traumatized or scared like that could turn into like stuttering. It could turn into
So many things.
anxiety.
It
Yeah.
says after
And
the
then people don't have
video
training on.
after the video went viral on Reddit and Facebook, it was confirmed by Monroe County Sheriff that the employees were fired and an investigation is underway.
Yeah, I think it was about 4 of them. 4 of them were fired. It was one person at first, but in a total 4 people were fired. I just want to hear honestly from the parents. Like, what were the parents'
The
reaction?
parents are gonna the parents, I'm sure, especially because it was posted and shared all over social media, are probably doing the most, as they, I guess, should.
Yeah.
If it was
I don't know
something,
how I would have got us out of this one.
yeah, and this is why I don't like looking at things like this because I'm like, it can't be me in my program.
Yeah,
Like,
Danny usually sends all the trouble escalating issues towards my way, which is fine, but I don't know what I would explain to my parents why my staff would think it's okay to do something like that.
yeah, that's it's really crazy. Um, I'm wondering how this got into the hands of a sheriff. Like, it doesn't really say. It says it was confirmed by
Probably
the
social
sheriff.
media.
What?
Probably social media or parent turn it
Yeah,
in.
but why would it be a police matter? Like, or are they? It says it's being investigated.
They could probably saying that to make the public feel happy or the parents feel happy, but I don't think any law was broken. Well, it could be. I don't know if the video they had the parents' permission to record that video and then post it to a social media platform.
You know what? You know where I can see the law coming into place is if you read the regulate, at least for New York, if you read the regulations carefully, um, if part of like is it considered abuse? It's I think
Verbal
like
abuse?
corporal punishment or part of like disciplinary action, like says there's language about methods of demeaning children or embarrassing them. Something like that is in our regulations. And I guess if it's spun certain ways, it could probably be looked at as maltreatment or abuse. And that's maybe why it escalated to the level of a sheriff. But I don't
Yeah.
know, like, and I'm sure what's crazy is I'm sure that the center or the program or definitely clearly not the employees were even thinking that far ahead.
They never do. They never do. We could sit here and talk for days, not even hours, days. They never do. Something in a moment could change not just the company, but that individual's life.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's so sad. I hope those kids are okay and the families. And I hope they're not traumatized forever, unfortunately.
I agree.
But kind of want to Google them.
Google the
Google
daycare.
the center. If you remember the first time I ever saw a daycare going viral on social media, or maybe it's just the first time I ever paid attention to it, was about, I think it was about 2 years ago when that situation at that franchise program. I really don't care to say the names of programs that these things are happening in, but there's like a specific franchise in the South where a daycare worker was allegedly like discriminating against a child during lunchtime.
I do remember that. Was
Yeah.
actually that wasn't that long ago.
Was it
I
not
think
2 years ago? 2 summers ago?
no, I
It was
feel like
last
that's
year?
fairly new. I want to say earlier this year, the most maybe the end of last year, but that is fairly new. I remember looking at the video. She gave out lunch to you know who first, and then the other kid was just sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah. And then since then, I feel like so many, like there's been like the little girl that was left in the daycare for um when they went home, like they left her and went home, and then the mom came and they
They saw that she was there, and she took
I
like a
also
picture.
saw one recently of a little girl being left in the daycare while the kids all went on a field trip. It was either a little, I don't remember if it was a girl or a boy, but a child was left in the daycare while they all went on a field trip, and the child left the program and to like go find help and then came back. And I remember seeing one comment like, how was he able to get back inside? Like that's a whole separate issue itself, like that he was able to enter the facility alone with nobody there.
I didn't hear that about that one.
Yeah, there's that. There's so many things, and it's crazy. We have to do better as an industry.
Yeah, even like when I travel, I like out of state and I see like daycares, and I just like my
I
mind.
always look.
Yeah, like I'm like I'll look on the outside and I'll stare and I'll look. I wonder if I just wonder like are they like us? Do they really love their kids genuine or is it just basic clock and color? Like my mind runs because you hear so many stories, especially a lot of being well, they're everywhere. So I don't want to say just in particular places, but my mind just run as like how are they genuinely taking care of their kids, you know? Especially when things are hard out of state. The pay is not the same like New York. Like a lot of things factor in for people, I guess, mental state. But I feel like this field, if you're in it for money, then this is not it. You have to genuinely love it and grow. And as you grow and continue to experience and educate yourself, the money will come down the road, you know?
Yeah, but as on the other side of things, it is also important to acknowledge that it is a business that does cost money. One topic that I want to talk about um, in a different episode is that fact, right? Like we often get when parents are upset and they don't get their way, what's the first thing they say?
But you guys are money hungry.
Yeah, that we're money hungry. All we care about is the money, blah blah blah. And why? Why is that? The reason is because you're
So
at
do
being
we talk about this
asked.
now? Or we take
You
you
know
in a
what? You're right. You're right. Time and place. I just want to.
you don't have a topic, so we might as well.
No,
Oh, you do?
we'll talk about it in a different.
Please remind me that I wanted to say something when we talk about it next time.
Okay, say what you want to say, and then I'll we'll talk about it next time too.
Um, basically, I had a parent ask, "Oh, why do I have to continue to pay? Like, why can't I pay when I want to pay, or pay when my child's out sick for a couple of days?" So, payroll, the lights,
Mhm.
or transportation families, or why do I have to pay? Um, gas is not that high. Literally, those were words of a parent to me. I don't know what world they're living in, but unfortunately, yeah, they don't get that it's not just paying someone to watch your kid. It's everything factors in: the light, the food, payroll, insurance to make sure your children is covered while here. Like so many things factor in. I don't think they understand. Well, I know for sure they don't understand. They for sure don't understand because they make it seem like it's not. Yes, for our staff, it's, in-house. Yeah, we're not gonna come off like it's about the money, but you do, at the end of the day, it is customer service. We are offering you a service, and that service is not free 95.
Exactly.
I'm sure if someone requires you to do something, here's my invoice, or here is how much this is going to cost.
Right. Right.
As unfortunate how it may come off sometimes, because it is childcare and it could come off to them insensitive. We're always mindful how we deliver what we say, but no matter how we say, it's going to come off insensitive to them because they're expecting okay, sure, the baby's not sick. Okay, you don't have to pay this week. It's okay. In my head,
Mhm.
in my head, I'm like, okay. I don't have the teacher to pay to watch your kid when they come back from being sick. You're gonna keep your kid home for another week then.
Right. So I to go back to what you were saying before, yes, it definitely is when you're entering into the industry, you need to do it with a passion because the money isn't going to no matter how much money you might make, the money is not going to be enough
No.
in
And
comparison to the headaches and the stress and the anxiety. Even if money is never a stress factor, there's still like this baseline level of anxiousness that you will feel every day with such a risky business. We just named a whole bunch of scenarios in which these were really high risk situations that did not work out well in those center situations. And unfortunately, like we're dealing with humans, like not just the children that have their own minds and free will, and like if they make a bad decision and like whatever, but also our employees. Yes, we can train our employees as much as possible, but those people might have could have had great training and then stupidly thought
and
that doing something like that was no big deal, or that it was funny, or it was just jokes. Maybe they thought like, oh, we have great relationships with the families, or these kids have been with us for so many years, it'll be fine.
yeah,
No, it's not fine. So it's things like that are in the back of my mind every day as the
a
owner,
business owner, yeah.
and like I can't stress how much the money alone is not worth it um if you're not passionate about running childcare businesses
I,
for other reasons.
I'm sorry to chuckle, but what you said reminded me, because I think one year I was like, Danny, let's extend, or let's do a whole nother business where there's a 24-hour childcare. Danny was like, excuse me?
Absolutely not.
She's like, I look forward to my 6:30 every single day.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I was like, wait, what? She's like, 6:30, nothing happened for the day. I am at peace. She said, you want me to be on edge 24 hours a day? I was like, what? They're sleeping. She's like, no, 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 no. 6:30 is where,
That's
and
even worse. So
yeah,
that the teachers can fall asleep too
okay.
and not see when a child. I can't imagine what goes on at night in 24-hour programs. Like
Well, maybe we could have some of those if we, someone input if you want to share. I don't know. I don't. I will honestly. I would really like to know
I
their
highly
policies.
doubt
I
that.
really do want to know. Like, is
I,
there a bedtime routine? Is there a state policy that they sleep and wake up at this time? I like. I'm really curious how 24-hour center operates.
we can. I'm sure there's plenty of 24-hour childcare providers that that I follow and follow me back. I can ask one of them to come on an episode and we can talk about it. I can't imagine. I can't imagine the stress that I would have. Maybe not them, because everybody runs their program and prioritizes things in their life differently. Like I can't thinking having uh having
You're so
childcare
flustered.
centers and all these the responsibilities of these 40 plus employees, 180 something children capacity between each of our locations. Um, all of this really makes me think about the type of mother that I'm going to be when I have kids, if I have kids, because like if I'm this concerned and stressed and crazy and uncomfortable, uneasy with certain things when it comes to my business, just worrying about things that have never happened and God willing will never happen. I can't imagine that feeling when it comes to a human being. Like, how do you handle that?
That a human being that's your own.
Yes. Like, how do you
What
handle
am I talking to you? What am I always doing when I'm talking to you about my own kid? I'm always crying. And it's not to say crying because I'm sad. It's just it's your baby, so the emotion it's 10 times worse. And especially something happened that you weren't there for, you didn't have control over. You feel like a automatic failure. Automatically, you put the fault on you, even though someone will say, "Oh, it's not your fault, it's out of your control," because that's your child. You have it in your head 24/7. You're not, even when they're not with you, that you're supposed to protect them and stop from anything from happening to them. And unfortunately, when my kid gets up and I drop her off to school, she's not in care of someone else. I'm on edge all the time. All the time. 3:15, I'm looking at the clock. Where's my child? That's why sometimes parents will drop their kid off at the crack of dawn and pick them up at last no so if I didn't work for like in the daycare field and I had to pick up my kid from school, first of all, and it's gonna sound horrible. I probably would try my best to find a job where I could pick up my kid on time myself because I'm just that mom. I'm that hands-on mom. I'm picking up from after school. I'm doing homework. I'm PTA. I'm Girl Scout. That's just me. I have her name right here. I'm obsessed with my child. I'm
no.
sure as she gets older, she's gonna realize that I'm too obsessed with her and she's gonna want her space. But until then, I'm obsessed with her. I want to know how many times she went to the bathroom. I want to know, did she wash her how long?
The teacher that?
I asked her that.
Oh.
If I could ask the teacher, I would ask the teacher. Like when she was sick, and I know it's gonna sound horrible, but public school teachers don't have time to be answering those questions. Not to say they don't care, they don't have time. Like she was homesick a couple days ago with a fever. She went back to school. I emailed the teacher, "How's she feeling today?" The teacher was like, "She looks pretty good to me."
Yeah. I'm surprised you can even ask. I feel like I don't remember
Yeah, I don't think
emailing.
honestly, if I kept it going, asking all the time, this she probably would be like, okay, no, this is not the type of party it is. I only really asked because she had a fever for 3 days straight that was worrying me, and I was afraid I was gonna come back. That's the only reason I asked. But I usually don't ask. I don't even think they would even answer those emails if I continuously to ask. To be very transparent, they
There
have
must be a parent that does though. because like
It probably gets ignored or probably is labeled as, and I don't want to label my kid, "Oh, that's that kid's mother," you
yeah,
know? Let's let's be honest. We're in
I
this
know.
okay?
But I'm trying to think of like when did this become a thing where parents had such quick, easy access to teachers? Because I'm saying like when we were in elementary schools, our parents weren't emailing the teacher. It was parent teacher conference night, and that's it.
That's it.
If you have a bad grade, I used to be another thing that used to talking about scare and traumatize. I used to be traumatized every time the phone would ring when I was home, the landline phone, because I thought it was my teacher calling about a bad grade that I got.
Did you get bad grades?
I did get bad grades.
Well, then
And
that's you traumatized yourself.
yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying is that that's the only communication that I think
Yeah.
we had at
Oh,
that
I think
time. Like when
between
did emailing become a thing with
it's
elementary?
probably us. It's probably parents wanting to have access to. Times have changed a lot between the unfortunate things that's happening in the schools, inappropriate things with teachers and students. Parents want access to teachers' updates and to make sure their kids is okay, which is understandable. And then after COVID, now email is a must. Parents must have. There's parents who didn't have emails with us. I
Right.
took the
COVID, I
paper.
think it is COVID. COVID would make a lot of sense. Like if because
Right.
everything was virtual, so they had to give the work and do the Zoom links and all of that. That makes a lot of sense.
I'm sure they had emails before that, but I don't think it was frequently used.
Yeah,
Now it's a must. Everything is through email now. Literally everything.
right.
So COVID probably, if not enhanced it times 1,000 to make that the main communication method. If someone doesn't have an email business wise, because they don't want to share it with you.
Right.
There's no such thing.
Yeah.
But I again that situation is a lesson learned for the staff and for the company. Um, I'm good. Who knows who's recording? It could be the daycare owner. We don't know who's recording. They probably could thought not the owner or the director. They probably thought it was nothing too as well. I would love to hear from administration what they thought about it, and what if they only fired them because it's all over social media? They felt like they had to.
Probably.
So,
Probably what it was, unfortunately.
yeah.
Um,
What
yeah,
would you have done?
I we would have had to let them go. The only thing that I can think of that is a scenario similar or kind of close to this did not escalate to this level was several years ago with a teacher that we had that was yelling at, well, I guess it's not similar because she wasn't purposely trying to scare a child, but she was just being inappropriately loud. Like she was yelling at a child for spilling their milk. I think I told you the story. Like she was yelling at the child for spilling his milk. And I immediately pulled her out the classroom, like, why are you talking to him like that? Like, this is not appropriate. Um, it is not acceptable. Like he spilled his milk. It's not a big deal. And
Yeah.
she immediately corrected herself. She changed her tone. I didn't hear her voice the rest of the day. And she didn't do it with an attitude or like she understood that she was just tripping in that moment and corrected herself.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. Clearly they're not lesson planning.
That's too much time in
they,
their hands.
they got too much time on their hands in that classroom. There's no activities going on.
Yeah. I think the staff was in on it. They don't know. There's no way if someone's gonna put a mask on and walk in the building or walk past and not know what's happening. But who knows? To each
Well,
own.
I assume that they probably had
Fine.
the mask on. Why? It's not even Halloween. This
Yeah,
was last week. It's not even Halloween yet.
probably getting ready. The masks are out. They probably thought it'd be a funny joke for the kids, nothing serious, and unfortunately, it was serious. But a lot of Halloween stuff is out right now. When is this gonna air? Before Halloween?
I'm gonna post it tonight.
Okay, so yeah, Halloween is not here yet. So the masks are everywhere, and they probably thought it wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, no. And I'm sure, yeah. The way that she was screaming and the way that those kids were screaming, You're probably
Yeah.
right. The director probably did know because
Yeah, and didn't think
he
anything
wasn't
of
even
it.
trying to hide it. Like,
That's what I wonder who recorded, who's behind that phone. Because there's no way that something like is gonna happen to your sister and you not know about it. Like
right, you're
if that does
the
happen,
whole class screaming at the top of their lungs and you're screaming at the top of your lungs and you think that's okay, like, no.
first of
So
all, the scream I'm jumping out of my office. You see me sometimes when we're having meetings. So I don't even say that I just jumping. What is that noise? Which I don't know if that's always good. I run towards it. Well, yeah, I run towards it in the center as I can figure out what is happening. But yeah, there's no way administration did not know what was going on.
yeah, well, next week hopefully we only need to cover things that happen in the past and there's no more craziness that goes on. Maybe we could find a positive, like a positive daycare video.
Yes, I agree. I promise you. Do I send you positive stuff? I promise you I'll balance it
No,
out
you
and send
don't.
you positive.
You just send
I
me, it's always in the middle of the night when I'm trying to sleep. And it's the most like scary situation to think about
I'll,
at
I'll,
daycare.
I'll
Oh,
post a video looking at stuff because sometimes it's like at first I'll be like, "Is she up?" But I'm gonna just send it to her anyways. I put it in her inbox because I sometimes I have a paragraph that comes right along with it. I was like, "Let me just save the paragraph," because I'll be like, "Girl, do you see this? Like what? What? Mm-mm.
if you notice, I don't respond to those.
No, you
Like,
don't. But
I respond to the funny things you send me, but the things about the daycare, I'm like, why the hell did she send me this?
You think that would stop me? No, it does not, because I know you're gonna watch. I
So
said
now we can save it to discuss during the podcast.
absolutely. But I do think I want to say something to you with maybe hinting to our staff like Halloween is coming. If you thought this could have
Well,
possibly
you
been
know
funny,
what? You know what's
let's
happening in 48 hours?
yes, our center staff meeting. I know I do it for my center, but we could spread the word for all the other centers because again, they thought nothing of it. So maybe we could plant that seed and just make it known that it's just not okay, not appropriate.
Right. Another thing is, I'll save it. I'll save it. I was gonna say like if it is another teacher recording, like you're recording the kid, you have your personal device out recording the kids, recording this
I
traumatic
saw
experience with the kids, and
multiple
then she's
policies.
probably
Yeah,
the one that shared it. It probably spread around because of the teacher that took the recording and posted it, probably thinking that it was funny.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm wondering who was behind that phone. Why the director, if that wasn't the director, thought it was okay to video. Do they have permission? So, like, it's so funny.
All the different
Yes.
things.
Started going up in my head. I never thought I would think like you. I was like, is there even in their policy to record? Is it even in their policy they could share this information on social media? Does the parents know we're in on it? Like so many things ran through my head that could have saved them, but but clearly they didn't have none of that stuff in place.
Yeah.
Just stop and think. Like unfortunately, Danny has installed fear in me. And
Mhm.
she has no problem admit it, and she's very happy, I'm sure she is. To the point where I will second guess literally everything. Like
As you should.
I'm
You
second
think
guessing the parent bring
maybe
the whole potty into my center. Like the portable ones that they can move around. I'm like, can you just bring the lid? Does it have to be the whole potty like sanitary? Like you just have to dip it in the toilet and have to disinfect it in between. I'm just like so many things could run through my head if the state was to come and ask me a gazillion questions.
I'm sorry. Did you say someone trying to bring a potty into the center?
Yeah, I didn't tell you. It's apparently their kid goes number one and number two at home, but only goes number one with us. And she doesn't want her kid to hold number two or even fall back into a habit to go number two on themselves, which is understandable. Of course, we're potty training. We got him this far. So mom wants to bring the actual whole potty so he could use that potty for when he needs to go number two and could use the regular potty for when he goes number one.
Does she know that our toilets are child size?
Yeah, our we got him potty trained to go number one on that, but he just won't go number two on the potty, our potty.
Well, we could discuss that in morning meeting. 'Cause that's not what this is. We'll talk about that in the morning.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've been trying to figure out a way to tell you this, but I'm like, does she really need to know that? Because again, I want to tell mom no, but yeah, we could discuss it.
well, there's regulations surrounding the use of
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
you can I'll send you in the morning the page
But
referencing.
then it's just like, mind you, trust me, I know this. This is why, again, I didn't inform you. But then it's just like, is there a way to get around it? Because also, I don't want this child to be holding their number two all day because that could have a
No,
bad
I'm not
result
saying
because
regulations saying you can't use them. I'm just saying
if
you are
we
if they
have
are
it,
to be
how to
used,
properly do
there's
it.
rules
Yeah.
about how it needs
Yeah.
to be used, which would probably give you a decision on whether or not it would be possible. So we can look up in the morning the potty related regulations and make sure.
Then it trickles down to the teacher because now I have to
Yes.
add to this teacher's responsibilities of not emptying it's not just a me decision because now the teacher might be like, I don't know, but then we could relate that we have staff that says, oh, well, that's not in my job description, or like, ew, I didn't know I had to empty out a potty. Why can't they just go? So it's just so many things to factor in that I'm just like,
Yeah.
can we just keep trying him on the potty, please? But then I'm very sensitive to my students, and I want them to go. So yeah, I've been trying to figure out a politically correct, but I literally was gonna give up and be like, I'm gonna talk to you about it.
Oh, I'm a last resort. I love that.
Exactly, I'm gonna say that's what you want. Literally to be bothered last.
All right. This has been fun. We did it. A whole hour-long podcast episode.
Probably could have been longer if we kept going. I know.
This
Now
is a
we have
surprise,
to keep it
everybody.
going.
Yeah, no. Just as this is going to be consistent, we're going to consistently have a new episode every week, at least for the next 30 weeks. And I'm going to check in with my goals
Okay.
every week. That's how we'll start. Are we down a pound or not?
Okay. This was fun.
What's your weekly check-in goal? If it's not fitness related, it's fine. But what can we expect of Gigi over the next 30 weeks?
Can we help Gigi with that? Gigi start stuff. And that's the thing about the podcast. I can't be fake. So Gigi doesn't have one. Like I said, Gigi is in a mental space where um we
Like
need
you're
someone to,
talking about yourself in the third
yeah, the third person.
person.
We need to pull her out of this funk that she's in. And I'll challenge myself. When next time we come, I will have a goal for the next 30 days.
Okay. 30 weeks.
Yes, 30 weeks. I'm instantly regretting what I just said.
Okay. So next time. When
Yeah.
is the next time we should record?
Um,
Oh, dang it. I just realized that sometimes we record in batches or like in the same week, so I can't. To be very honest with you guys, I don't want to lie to you either. Sometimes this recording that we're recording right now, I have every intention of getting it out to you tonight to have it uploaded and over with, or at the latest tomorrow. However, sometimes in the past when we record podcasts, we record multiple in one sitting or do multiple in 1 week and schedule them out over weeks time. So I will check in with you as frequently about this, about my week 30 week journey as often as the weeks pass. And sometimes that would mean that there's no update because we're in the same week. Just being
yes,
honest.
yes.
But with that said, I think you and I should do one more recording this week at least, just in case, so we can have it for next week.
Of course. Our plan B.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys. A whole hour. How do you feel, Danny?
I feel good. I'm so excited to be back. I feel like we are back. Like, every time we come back, I'm like, oh, we're back. It lasts 2 weeks at most. But
So
this
see,
time,
guys, she lied every other time, basically.
we're
back.
gonna show up. I have gotten into a routine of showing up for myself every day in working out and other ways that maybe I'll discuss at other times. But like, I feel like I'm becoming a more consistent person, which is what I want to be. So please hold me accountable. That's for you, Gigi. Please hold me accountable and make sure that we record every.
I will. I definitely will, guys.
All right. Thanks for listening and watching. And you can find us on Instagram at Dani Krazim Consulting. And
I used to flow, that's what happens with the used to flow.
And gg.solutions.
Yes.
And if you want to watch the video replay, you can go to youtube.com/Dani Christine. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.